I'm not sure this is the correct music to precursor us into whatever the fuck's about to happen.
I don't know what you're
What do you
talking
mean?
about.
This is the correct music.
It's perfect music.
Alright, let me let people know I'm streaming.
We're just chilling. Well, what could be happening in this session? Or we wouldn't just be chilling.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find a funny image. I'm scrolling up in the Waning Whispers chat to see if there's a... Perfect. The one... I ate some cookies today and had some lemonade.
Fantastic. Then I played some video games.
Every day I wake up and I'm like, is this the session of Waning Whispers that everyone's going to explode and kill me?
You think this often?
Only recently. Ever since the blood prison, I've been thinking this.
I see.
Everyone explodes and dies.
Oh no.
But you've all been okay. And
Yeah.
I've been reinforced in my ideals of putting you guys in fucked up situations. I think this is great.
Is there any way I can convince you otherwise, Tiny?
You know what? Maybe after this particular day in game time, things will be slightly normal for a little
You gotta
while.
let us have normal days so I can get a real fucking job, Tiny. I'll
give you some normal days after this. You just have to survive one last job.
It's almost time for my retirement.
Anyways, I think it is time to start. So welcome back, guys, to another session of Waning Whispers. Hope you guys enjoyed the last session. We had some very fun things happen, and we are starting off at a different point in time. It's not a complicated story. I was a child like any other person. To be honest, I don't remember why, but I was climbing a tree, if you'd believe me. It was that large one right outside of town, just at the entrance. I saw a bird that I've never seen before. Its colors were honestly the most beautiful thing I've seen. And, well, you know, being a child, I had to get a closer look. I don't know how long I tried to climb that tree, but it felt like hours. At some point, I gave up. Slid down the tree and made my way back to the village. In the distance, I saw something. It made me pause. There was someone new in my village. I remember it clearly. Someone made a mistake. They bumped into the newcomer. The newcomer just raised a hand and then... just like that. A whole village frozen completely. No survivors. I was just at the edge of the blast. My fingers were numb from the cold. My legs shook. And I heard the slow tapping of that man's cane as he approached. I can only stand there and watch. Move. It was a single word he said. I knew if I didn't move, he'd turn me into ice like everyone else, but I couldn't. Everyone I knew was frozen. If I could do one thing, it was to defy him. So, I stood there, legs shaking. He glared at me, and I could feel the frost biting into every inch of my body. You know what I hate about you mortals? You never learn. I don't even remember what I said to him in that moment. But I remember the ice not feeling cold anymore. Come. My last attendant died, so you'll have to pick up where he left off. Not knowing anything else, I followed him. Elsewhere. Nilla, are you here?
Whip whip.
Alright. Let me change the song. So, stranger, you head back to Dead Pass, and something felt off for you at a moment. You walked around the streets, and you couldn't find any of the undead, but once you reach the remains of the park of Dead Pass, you found them. They seem to be having some sort of festival, you think? A large pyre is in the middle, and it kind of blazes with a light that pierces through the fog. It's not that foggy around here. Venel is capturing this moment on his canvas. Very excited to see what comes out of this. The undead kind of dance and move around this thing. They seem to be in the high spirits, the highest spirits you've ever seen the undead ever be in.
I guess I'll go up to Ramsey and... I wasn't informed there would be a party today.
Oh, stranger, it is a great celebration. He kind of fishes in a pocket and hands you a block of wood.
He takes it, confused.
Do you know of any celebrations? Holidays?
Aside from the standard birth party, no. What do you do?
This one is an important day. If you consider yourself a denizen of the city or an undead. This is the day the great mage, Amber, had helped us.
What did she do exactly?
It was long before this city was even a city. It was when we were maybe just a hovel or a village. There was a great beast in the area that caused a strife, and Amber had came and saved us.
Sounds like a very kind individual. She smiles a little.
He nods. It has been far too long, and many people do not even remember the day. They do not even remember her name. He points to the block of wood. The mage. She had a prosthetic arm, one made of wood. On this day, we carve our hopes and dreams, our anger and frustration into the wood, create a hand, and throw it into the fire, so that we may have good tidings for the future.
Would you allow me to participate in this celebration?
He nods.
Even though
And he pulls out like his little pocket knife and hands it to you.
Thank you, Ramsey. Seems like she gives like a genuine smile at that, and then just sits down and gets to work, because she has a lot of grievances.
Yeah, you put a lot of your anger, and do you have anything that you're happy about currently?
I am grateful for the progress that we are making to take steps towards fighting the Inquisitors, and by also doing that, getting closer to finding out more about Miss Yassine.
You carve it into the hand. Give me a dex roll.
Roll?
Unless you have something specific that you want to roll instead to see how well this carving is.
I have a +3 in knives.
That will work. Rolled out with a +2.
Yippee!
Oh wow, you make an intricate wooden hand with the joints and everything.
I had a rough day.
Yeah, you spend quite a bit of time, like several hours pass as you're just absorbed into your work. And you kind of create a hand fitting for the fire. as you are just kind of focused in, you hear someone walk up to you. You see all the. She kind of looks over your shoulder, doesn't really say much, waits till you finish the last finger, and she finally speaks up. It seems that you had a lot on your mind.
What? Yes. This morning there was, I had another encounter with the Arbor Guild. Is that what they're calling themselves now?
Oh, they're calling them the same name as the guild from before then.
From before?
Sparrow's father also ran the Arbor Guild. At one point, I was a part of it.
Oh. Well, that explains how they acquired a house in a different district so quickly.
It is a very nice inheritance. I don't have much to leave behind for my future.
She just kind of nods like, yep, that's what Alda would say. Have you done your own wooden hand today?
Well, I tried. She holds up like, you're not... It's not even in kind of the shape of a hand. It's very bad looking.
Oh. I see.
I was never a wood carver.
I didn't think I was either. But
It seems that you're a very natural fit for it. If vigilantism wasn't your profession, maybe making chairs and tables would have been more profitable.
I could have gotten into carpentry, perhaps. She looks down at her hand.
Are you actually considering it? She said.
What?
You know that's a joke.
No, it's not a possibility. There's too much to be done. I can't. Well, celebrating with these people I've grown fond of isn't a waste of time, but I think outside of this, I have to focus on the mission.
That is understandable. I sent, you remember, Lyra? The undead noble woman?
Oh, she was with us at the very beginning for a moment, I believe.
Yes, I had sent her into the tunnels below. And... let me change the music. She had seen an inquisitor lurking down there.
Were they alone?
She didn't get a good look, but they weren't. There was another set of footsteps. It's troubling news. The tunnels are supposed to be a secret from the government.
Well, once I'm done with this, I suppose I should head out and take a look for myself then.
You shouldn't go in alone if you are gonna go. At least take one other person with you.
She sort of looks around like all the undead are they're having a good day today. Like, one of the only good days they're gonna have for a while. She doesn't want to take them away from it. Venel's also having one of the only good days he's gonna have for a while. I don't want to take him either.
Look, you're gonna have to take someone away from their good day. You're taking yourself away from a good day.
True, that's true. She looks around, she weighs her options, then looks back to Alda. In that case, would you be willing to come with me?
Well, if you're asking, yes. I am willing. And I'm not sure you would know the way otherwise.
That's very true. She looks down at her hand again.
I don't believe I've told you. I'm glad you haven't gone into the tunnels before. It's infested with many traps. If you don't have a good map, it's very likely that you'd find yourself skewered on a spike that suddenly sprung out from one of the walls.
I believe I've read some books about standard dungeon traps in my time. But
Yes. There's many levels to the tunnels, or I should call them catacombs. Each level is more dangerous than the last.
well, I suppose I'll throw this hand in the fire and then we can be on our way if you're comfortable with that.
If we do head out today, it's going to be quite late when we come back home. So most likely we'll have to be sleeping in the catacombs. So I would say prepare for an overnight visit.
If you have no issues with it, then neither do I.
All the nods. She steps forward, and hands her wooden hand to one of the skeletons, who chucks it all the way up and over into the fire.
Should I also do that, or should I chuck it myself? See what happens.
You can chuck it yourself. It seems like all of us just being lazy.
Oh, okay, so yeah, I'll check. I don't have anything for throwing, so it would just be.
It would just be your strength or your dex +2.
Okay.
It's not too hard of a throw.
Whoop.
Yep, you toss it into the fire and it kind of disappears amongst the flames. And all the other undead kind of begin to cheer and jump and they all dance. It's kind of nice.
She gets a genuinely kind of sweet little smile on her face for that. And this is what I want to protect now. Walks over to join Alda.
And the two of you disappear into the fog of Dead Pass.
Mm-hmm. You hear that, Calorie? I'm coming for your job.
Yeah.
And we change scene. So, back where we left off. Pim, you've been approached by Winter, the god of the very same name. Everyone kind of stands there, flabbergasted.
I fucking knew it.
The Royal Knights immediately kind of stand at attention, stand at the side of the road, kind of looking forward and not bothering anybody or saying a single word. Vic kind of comes out from behind Winter with a very professional smile.
What was the last thing he said to Pim? It was like, "You're coming with me to the council."
Basically.
The council, and for what business exactly?
You see, Vic is the one who speaks up. We're going to be talking about what Bliston City will gain from the peace talks.
What Bliston? Like, some internal part of him. Oh, all right. I will of course need assistance. He glances very specifically at Sparrow. I am, as you can likely tell, a bit spaced out as of late.
Not blind. I can see you've been resurrected.
Right. That's a term for it. His teeth clatter. Oh.
It is incredibly cold being near, like, in the vicinity of this guy.
Well, allow me a moment to speak with the local guildmaster.
Make it quick. He kind of grumbles, tapping his cane impatiently.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Fi look is as equally as flabbergasted as Sparrow. She looks at you, Pim. It's a interesting predicament. Pim, do you have proof of citizenship here? Have you ever gained citizenship here?
Gained citizenship here?
Yes. In this country.
Then I'd like to roll litigator of what that could be.
What it could be?
Yeah. What could constitute?
Roll litigator -5.
What?
Well, there is, of course, my family name, but that's not to hear.
Sparrow, it's dubious. He's resurrected, but you're not sure where he was, or he's considered resurrected at the moment, and you're not sure where he was born. It could have been in the Espora, could have been in the Asphyx Empire. You're not sure. Only Pim would really know.
But we wouldn't have anything showing they're from here.
Yeah. And knowing Pim's backstory, proof of where you lived doesn't exist.
God.
So that's also difficult to prove.
The only proof of citizenship we have is the ID.
Because he is ruined, that means he's a citizen of the Asphyx Empire.
Yes.
which means, you know.
Fine, I'm not sure we have anything of that kind.
Well, it isn't bad. That's not an issue. You're not a citizen. I mean, Sabina is technically not. Sabina's not a natural-born citizen here. Things should go okay. Just make sure that. Try to make sure, as part of the peace talks, you don't get ousted from the country or something like that.
For that, would you require legal counsel?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes, definitely. Most definitely.
Let us make a document that I am your legal retainer.
Yes. And looks at Kellery.
Kellery looks like she just got here.
Hello, Kellery. We're in a bit of a situation. The day is not yet over.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything through the window. What's happening?
We are going to the council.
We're going to the council.
I can bring Kellery. I can bring Kellery along with me. There are places for, I guess, onlookers to see.
I would like.
I have special access, so I can bring Kellery along.
I see. I thank you for this.
Thank you.
I need a piece of paper.
Yes. I looks back. Doesn't want to keep Winter waiting.
Sabina, quick piece of paper.
Sabina hands you a piece of paper.
And a ink and quill.
She hands you the ink and quill at the front desk.
Thank you.
He puts on fake ass, noble ass smile.
I will write this as we walk.
Yes. Oh. It should be good to go then.
Allow me to promote myself.
This the guy? Winter points at Sparrow.
Yes, my legal counsel.
Yes.
He grunts and...
Not good with any of the contract stuff myself. You four?
You're gonna have to learn. That or you're gonna be relying on... What's his name? Sparrow?
Yes, Sparrow.
And if Sparrow's compromised, you're gonna be caught in a big... You're gonna be caught with your pants down.
Right.
If you need advice, don't trust anybody.
Blinks. Yeah, like, he was glancing.
And I'll move you guys. Don't worry, Kellery will be there, but...
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
A different way.
Let her in.
Let me change the music. So, you guys walk down the hallway to get to the council room.
Yes. This is absolutely the first time Pim has ever been in this building, yes?
Yes.
He is pretending like it is natural for him to be here.
You walk as if it's natural. As you three continue deeper.
3?
Yes.
3?
As
Nick stays behind.
Okay.
As Sparrow, you felt an urge, not an urge, but you felt something holding you back. You feel someone put their hand on your shoulder. On your shoulder.
Have I felt this feeling before?
No. It seems like a person just walked up next to you. And see a man in a set of white plate. His hair kind of a brilliant blonde and his eyes kind of glow. Sparrow, I presume?
That would be I. To whom am I in the presence of?
Who am I is of no importance at the moment.
Am I capable of recognizing this person?
Make a roll.
What could I roll?
Based on the description of what he looks like, you can roll history minus 7.
I think I can make that. I'll roll that. Is that my character sheet? History, you say?
Yes.
Minus 7.
Alright, exact success. You know that this is the Lord of Bliston City.
Anything else about their titles?
You know that he is also a god.
But I am unaware of their domain.
You're currently unaware of their domain.
To what? To what do I owe the pleasure of meeting with the leader of Bliston City?
I will be brief in what I need to tell you. Do not speak any word of the corrections to the council.
That is... I understand.
He nods, and he continues up this hallway.
I need to catch up. That was weird. I think I just meant... I will ruminate on this at a later point. I don't know why, but I felt like that person could have killed me if they wanted to.
You continue down the hallway. And you enter the council room. A bunch of onlookers stand in the crowds to the sides, to the bottom, and the top. Sparrow, you enter the room just a little bit late behind everyone else. And in front of you, you see the council. From the bottom, as you are introduced, the council member representing the old district, Lady Teslin, the ghoul, the council member representing the Grey Crown district, Zakara, goddess of stories, the council member representing the Stormgate district, Ephion, goddess of storms, the council member representing the East Ward, Headmaster Azrius, god of balance, the council member representing Privian Green, Alar, icon of the hair, and lastly, the Lord of Bliston City, Izagi, god of destiny. The first person to speak up is Azarius. He kind of adjusts his glasses. So, Winter, you finally made your way to our city. Very interested to hear what you're going to give us in recompense. Winter looks at this man. It's not recompense. It is simply an exchange. You have killed some of our people. We have killed some of yours. And thus, to make things right, we exchange goods and services. We help rebuild your towns. And we call this square. You see, Azarius up again. Yes. What did you offer? And Winter looks at you, Pim. And with me, I have the god of ruin. The very man that caused the deaths of countless villages at the border. I have a proposition. He looks at Izagi. Three favors from the God of Ruin. That should be enough. Izagi almost laughs. He chuckles. Winter, do you know the death count of the people that Ruin has killed? 300,000 people. Those little villages you said that were on the border, those were 300,000 deaths. I will be fair. I'm not including any of the deaths that your soldiers made. Any of the deaths that were done manipulating the weather. This is all from one single man, Ruin. So, we do not want 3 favors. We want more. You see Winter groan and lean back on his cane. What else do you want? And Izagi puts a hand on his chin. 6 favors and 3 blank contracts. Does that sound good?
That's scary. But Pim does note that going from 3 to 6 doesn't cover equivalents of adding on 3 contracts, I guess. And also that 6 favors and 3 contracts is enough for that many people.
Yeah. You're like, yeah. You see people in the audience gasp. Sparrow, do you want to roll Litigator to understand why this seems surprising?
Yes.
Yeah, you can roll Litigator +5.
+5. All right.
Yay!
This is a very easy roll. Oh my, yeah, nat 20, that makes sense.
Yes.
Sparrow, blank contracts from a god is like the equivalent is like 1 million platinum from a mortal person, is the best way I can describe it. It is like free access to that god's abilities. For 3 different mortals.
Mhm.
So obviously it's worth a lot. On the case that does this outweigh the lives of the people that Ruin killed, you're not sure. It's a fair ask, but you're not sure what they do with the contracts or the favors.
It's also a really rough spot because negotiating for any less makes you say like, oh, that many people isn't worth that much to me.
Okay, yeah, it's a very bad spot to be in, but this is a very compromising position to put a god in the first place.
Right.
You know, for things like these, Sparrow, the country usually offers to help rebuild. Nothing like giving blank contracts. It's an insane ask, but they're pretty much technically allowed to ask it. But it's on you to make the call.
It's on me.
Well, you and Pim is what I mean.
I chose a bad day to only get like 5 hours of sleep.
Come here, my legal counsel, please. God.
You see Winter after
Oh.
hearing that statement.
What does he look
at
like?
you, Pim.
Yeah.
You're gonna let those bastards take 3 contracts?
I'm not exactly sure. They were devastated by this power. Why would they want to introduce more of it into its population? In fact, 3 blank contracts. That's basically like signing up for 3 new war fronts.
He nods. Winter both nods to that. Besides, you said they were devastated by that? Look at them. Not a single frown or tear on their face. I doubt they could even name one of the villages that were destroyed.
Him takes a deep breath.
The season of winter is very important.
It's
It's a natural part of life.
His dumbass.
I don't believe.
And he says this like privately to Winter. As privately as he can in this fucking room.
You're allowed the silence. Or be able to whisper to him.
They turn on the white noise machine.
3 blank contracts. Frankly, even a single blank contract. It would only pose more destruction. Offering to rebuild and 6 favors.
Him who does not recognize the scale of godly favors.
Winter makes a slow nod at that. Here's one thing I'm gonna teach you. You wanna tell them something, tell it yourself. He steps off the podium to let you step on.
He nods, looks at this group of gods, and, well, singular man.
You see this guy, he looks like he does not look dressed for the occasion. He looks like he's just chilling.
What is his deal?
He's kind of got his shades on. He looks like a cool guy. He's kind of like leaning on the wall.
Awesome.
3 blank contracts is your suggestion? I believe that would be quite the mistake. I understand the need for rebuilding, and I accept 6 favors as proper recompense. But to unleash ruin without even the slightest amount of, well, specification. You are mourning currently 300,000?
That was the number?
Yeah.
You're currently mourning 300,000. That is with a singular man. If you do not wish to mourn millions, do not attempt to unleash ruin upon your nation.
You see one of the council members speak up. This one is Tess.
Oh.
I mean, 6 favors is fine and dandy, but you know how many soldiers we lost in this war? We lost 30% of them. We don't have enough soldiers to protect the border. Not anymore. The reason we were asking for these contracts is because we need something to make up for the difference. I mean, we're not asking for war again, but we need somebody to protect our borders.
He thinks.
I hit you with another hard-hitting question.
And you believe the power of ruin and devastation is the best answer?
No. We can't really ask for troops from your side. So, yeah. I do think that's the best answer.
He thinks.
Oh.
Right, yeah.
They put you in a hard spot.
I like, first of all, second of all, that's definitely war crimes.
I have an idea.
Yes.
Ask them how long it would take to retrain that amount of force.
How long would rebuilding the army take?
For that much loss, I'd say no earlier than 5 years.
5 years.
These weren't your standard footmen. These were trained soldiers. They're competent with spears, swords. They're good at listening to orders.
Ooh. Ooh.
Are you asking us to stay undefended for 5 years?
5
Oh.
years out of character.
Yeah.
You were probably
That's a-
thinking maybe what I'm thinking.
Yeah. That's
I
a
wanted to have a fun little time skip arc, but 5 years probably too long.
yes. Herm.
Also, by the way, you can roll. What is that word?
Litigator or something.
I have
Not
etiquette,
not just
nobility,
litigator,
diplomacy.
but roll to see if they're lying or stretching the truth.
Can I roll etiquette nobility for that?
Yes.
Yay!
Any
But I roll-
modifiers?
Appraiser.
Appraiser, you can roll appraiser at -4, etiquette nobility at -5.
Okay.
Roll attempt.
I
I think that'd be my closest skill because that would. No, I think analysis would probably be the best actually. Could I do analysis?
You can do analysis -3.
Okay. I might not need it.
That's a success.
I'll double check and see if I get a critical.
Yes.
Alright, so -3.
Oh,
That was
close.
just regular.
19. Okay. You don't know much about armies. You don't know much about fighting. But 5 years does seem like a really long time for a soldier to get competent at fighting. Like, 5 years?
Never fought a day in his life, and he has a weapon art like a fucking week later.
Like, 5 years is pretty long.
That's a pretty long time.
It would be like 6 months for a okay trained soldier. A year would be a fair amount of time. 5 years would make them very good at fighting. But we're not asking for Royal Knight level soldiers here. We're asking for soldier level soldiers.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Even then, we're talking about training somebody from scratch.
Do they have to do that?
Theoretically,
I mean,
it's
yeah.
not like they couldn't train some of their existing okay soldiers into better soldiers, while at the same time training new soldiers to replace those okay soldiers.
That is true.
That is true.
Thinking.
Just to let you know what I'm thinking. If we want time skip, you offer to defend the border yourself for a set amount of time to give them the opportunity to rebuild the force.
True. Pim would I imagine like him and Sparrow are discussing.
I'll move closer to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the point. There. I can select my token.
I mean, they want. To some degree, they want Ruin's power.
Giving it to them in an entirely uncontrollable sense.
Uncontrolled, I cannot accept. Under any circumstance. Not.
They specifically want to use your ability to control their border. The most controlled method that we could have control over is if you were to do it yourself.
Additionally.
Or, you see Vic speak up.
Yes.
You could train up your own mage and have them protect the border.
That is what I was thinking. If they want a mage of ruin so badly, why don't I work with them directly? That could even be one of their favors.
That is true. We would need to do that. We would need to find someone sufficient.
Right. I mean, they said 3 blank contracts, so they likely have 3 in mind.
But do you want... You say, me about to say, do you want followers in front of another god who will...
I mean, that's fine to say.
No, it's fine to say.
Do we want their choice of mage, or do we want ours?
Perhaps a training program of some kind. I work with them to bolster their soldiers' forces, and even if they don't come out of the program, my mages, they will still have more soldiers trained under a destructive god.
That would give... See, Vic speaks up. That does give them opportunities to slip in spies into your program.
Right.
That is true.
But who's to say one of their favors won't be, we can watch you directly at all times? Or allow yourself to be scryed upon. I wish to respect their losses. But this power is not.
He feels the urge to say fit for the hands of mortals. Thinks. A part of him dies.
Most importantly, I do believe we need to narrow down the time frame in which this will be occurring. 5
Right.
years.
It's too long.
Much too long.
Yeah.
The math doesn't exactly add up.
You don't know? I updated the autopsy report.
It was,
You're about to tell me you actually lost
3
50%.
million. He
A significant loss in forces of 5? You truly believe it will take 5 years?
he's asking this to Tesla directly.
5 years for them to be sufficient. Very well trained.
I'm not sure.
He
Do you hit her with the hold that?
hold that.
Hold it.
Hold it.
I'm not so certain it would be such a slow process. Additionally, with my power in the form of the favors, while you have time to substantially build back your army, say over half a year, I would be willing to personally protect the border myself.
You see the council members start speaking amongst each other immediately. And roll me diplomacy -5.
-5.
Are you the only one? No, Calry's the only one with charisma, right?
No, I'm a charisma character.
You're the only person with charisma, thank God.
I'm
You're
the
the one that
charisma
needs to talk right.
character. Let's fucking go. Send him to war.
You see, Zakar is now the one to speak up. She smiles. Interesting. You'd offer to protect our borders after you were the one who destroyed them. That does sound great. And I'm not refusing the offer, but I feel as though it wouldn't go well with the mortals. Seeing a god that recently raised their villages come back to protect them using the same powers.
But I am not the same man. In fact,
He looks to the Council of Gods.
But you are the same god, and
indeed,
that can't be changed.
I am Ruin, holder of this power and, as he once described it, curse. But I too... Well, I first was mortal man.
You see everyone in the audience starts whispering and like speaking now. For Izagi, man, I gotta give Izagi a gavel. He hits the table with the gavel, silencing the audience. You will speak on this.
Yes.
Did we decide a name for Pim's village?
I
I guess the...
Do you want to mention the name of your village from the fucking country?
It was on the border.
It was on the border, okay.
It was on the border.
I first encountered Ruin within...
He names the village.
And it was there that I...
He takes the eye patch off to look at all of them directly.
that I
You s-
gained this mantle.
You see immediately when you say that, everyone starts speaking. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, a god willingly donated their power? That's impossible. He must have, some people are saying, he must have threatened the god with something. The other people are like, well, he must have tricked him. And it's like everyone just starts speaking and talking, and Izagi hits the gavel, smacks the table again with the gavel. Silence. You say you've been given the mantle of ruin.
Indeed.
Is there anyone from your village that can prove this? Then
Yeah.
there is one.
Yeah. He thinks.
I wonder what the cover is.
She's the head of the research library.
Yeah.
No, but where she came from, because we know.
He like silently looks at Tara. What's her expression right now?
She's not showing anything.
Oh. Even when he looks at her?
Yes, she's not showing anything.
Oh, they might not have lie detectors up.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Ellery thinks you're looking at her.
No.
Kelly's like, it was me. You see someone leap from the rafters, or from the audience, down onto the bottom. Now things are getting really interesting. And you see the guards making their way to get this guy. And he's like, I was there. I witnessed it. And everyone starts whispering. And he's like, Izagi speaks up. You will speak on this. On the podium, please. Yeah, sure.
Tim's like looking at this guy like,
Huh? There was another? Huh?
like he does seem like genuinely happy to see this person.
How's Winter looking?
Yeah.
Roll analysis on Winter.
Awesome.
-5.
-5? I can do that! Uh-oh!
Yay!
Partial success. Sparrow, you have been focusing on Pim and this conversation the entire time. But you finally took a look, you spared a look at Winter. And you're not sure why. But you realize something.
Yeah?
He has some sort of plan. And right now, everything is going to his plan.
Awesome.
Gods and plans. Uh-oh.
You just have a feeling. It feels off, like something is wrong at the moment.
This feels like part of the plan, then.
Yes.
Oh.
And I don't recognize this person. We don't know this one.
You don't know this guy.
No,
And
we did not.
Oh, sorry. Just tell your question.
Yeah, I know where they're from. I'm assuming that I don't remember all the tokens I saw on that ship. This was not one.
We did not see Racco yet, I believe.
No,
Okay.
you did not see him yet. But you did hear his name spoken by Jack.
That's true.
And you're gonna hear his name when Izagi says, "State your name and occupation." Righty, I'm Rocco. I'm a humble mailman in the city. I go from place to place. Not just the city, mind you. I'm part of the Mailsman Guild. So I go from city to city, village to village. I see a lot of things and a lot of people. And you saw this incident when he nods his head to Pym, when he was handed the power of ruin. Yep, I was there. I was trying to get some messages across. You know, standard war thing from soldier to soldier. You could check the logs. I was there.
Hilarious.
When I saw a village surrounded by purple fire, it was honestly a pretty scary sight. But yeah, I saw it clear as day. A god with arrows in his back, and he said something to Pym. I couldn't really hear the conversation, but after he was done speaking, he disappeared, and, well, Pym was the only one standing. Pym, you already see some discrepancies with the story?
Like arrows in his back?
Arrows in his back? No. Purple fire only happened after the god disappeared.
But he's Pym is stupid. Pym is like,
you see the table.
Of course he'd be there.
You see the table, or not the table, the stand kind of glow a little bit, and nothing happens, and Izagi does a slow nod. Thank you for confirming the story, Rocco. You may head back. Unless anyone has any objections to say.
oh.
And after a second, Rocco hops off the stand. He taps you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
And he scrambles up the wall like a fucking creature. Back to watching.
Huh.
Pym's like, oh, my lucky day.
And when you look back at Terra, she is smiling.
Awesome. He feels happy to have not revealed her involvement. He naturally assumes his place on the stand as if they're gonna ask him more shit about this, like, just immediately.
You hear the rabbit speak for the first time, Alar.
Whoa.
He adjusts his monocle, and he speaks in a very proper voice. Pym, you're offering to protect our borders yourself, and if the story is said to be true, and you see Rocco speaks up, it is! If it's said to be true, then the people will have no issue seeing a person such as yourself protect their borders. That is well and fine, but there is the issue of your allegiance. How do we know that you will be protecting our borders? How do we know if you're not simply planning another attack? We'd be giving you free rein, pulling all of our soldiers out. It would leave us quite defenseless. Even if you, Pym, are honorable in this, we don't even know if Winter himself is honorable in this. And you feel the room get colder as Winter glares at him. All I'm saying is...
In Pym's mind, true.
Alar speaks up. All I'm saying is that it's fine to trust you. We'd feel more safe if there was someone that we trusted with you. Hence the blank contract.
I see.
Someone they trust. Pym looks among the council themselves. His gaze stops on the fucking man again.
You look at this guy. He smiles.
What is his deal? Someone they trust. Oh boy. Him thinks
Got a big brain idea.
he is looking to Sparrow. He's like,
I am unsure of the current dynamics within the city. I do not wish to suggest that my allegiance to the guild would.
he is whispering this to Sparrow specifically. He's not telling what to that.
My allegiance to the guild. I do not wish them to harm you.
Actually, speaking on the allegiance to guild, Pim, you know that. Actually, no, not Pim, Sparrow. You already know that guilds are treated as. They're treated. What's the word? They have the same amount of weight when a powerful guild says they owe favors.
Like the gods
So
do?
being aligned with the guild and the guild's message has some meaning to it. It's not just done for flair or anything like that.
And it would give them reason to not destroy the Arbor Guild. Oh, good.
You may. I have a
Yes.
really funny idea as well, other than the guild.
What was yours?
There is a god. In this very room you already owe favors to.
I know.
That could oversee you, baby.
It's in his
Maybe
mind. He's thinking about it, but but he owes Jester favors.
Yes,
This would be
that's why they have power over you.
right. Okay.
But first I would suggest mentioning your allegiance and what is it called? Not just allegiance, like being a part of
Yeah.
Association.
your association with the Arbor Guild.
Right.
If I recall, but the history of the Arbor Guild goes back quite far, or has that mostly been scrubbed?
It does go back. What the guild has actually no, yeah, it does go back. It's not been scrubbed.
So, although we may not have much influence at the moment, the history of the Arbor Guild is long and historied.
Yes.
Storied even.
Is storied, yes. You could mention you working for and being a part of the Arbor Guild, which is a
Wrong one.
long-standing guild of history in the country.
Right. I just.
And you have the current leader here with you as witness to this.
True. And if that isn't good enough for them, well, I wouldn't want you accompanying me on the front.
He thinks.
You may not need me to accompany you. There may be another that you could ask to come with, but your allegiance to my guild could alleviate concerns about your lack of allegiance to the country itself.
Right. Okay. So, I mentioned the guild, and then...
Looks sober.
No.
You look at Jester.
Looking at Jester. Looking.
They have a wide grin on their face.
see.
Pim steps up to the stand. Like a man walking to his own demise.
The council will find that currently I am quite invested in the well-being of, if not this country, then far more specifically, this city. I am currently aligned with the Arbor Guild.
He indicates towards Sparrow.
You see, only a couple of people in the audience kind of look surprised at that. As if they heard the name before.
The PR. Or the history. Or both.
As I am currently aligned to them, their well-being, the city's well-being.
Does he say that?
And this country.
Yeah, he's considering adding the council's well-being. He's not gonna say that.
Based.
And this country's well-being. They are of incredible importance to me. But if you need one to watch over me, I can think of no other true neutral party.
Looks over to Jester.
You look over to Jester. And Jester steps onto the railing, and everyone's like, oh god, here we go again. And they walk along the wall before hitting to the ground. And they clap slowly. It is an honor. Please, a round of applause. Come on. They look at everyone else and everyone else starts clapping. It is an honor to be considered a general in the army.
I laughed. That wasn't Pim.
If you will allow me to, though,
Wrong one.
I have a glowing recommendation.
Oh, this is gonna be bad. This is not gonna be good.
No.
They look at you, Pim.
Yes.
I have a glowing recommendation from one who ruins things. Zagi sighs. We can see that, Jester. Ah, we can see, but you have your eyes closed. Izagi sighs and opens their eyes. That's much, much better. It is true. The god of ruin owes me a favor. They step around the podium. At any moment, I could ask them their allegiance. I can ask them to leave. I can even ask them to do this. They do a quick little magic trick and birds fly out of his hands or their hands.
Pim internally, like Pim's stoic face, like completely full etiquette, everything he lived for when he was young, is completely controlled in this moment. Internally, he goes, "I can do that."
If you'll allow me to. You see the council members begin speaking with one another. Pim, give me another diplomacy, -5.
Yay! Diplomacy -5. Bit. Skill level 2.
Please.
Charisma 3.
Partial.
It's better than nothing.
It's better than nothing. Any benefit from maintaining a calm aura and not fucking lying?
Partial is still good. You hear Izagi speaks up. Jester is a good choice. They are not very inclined to combat. So, if you needed to get rid of them, you could do so very easily. You may choose Jester, and we may choose one of our own. Does that seem like a good agreement to you?
Do recall that I am currently indebted to Jester. To harm one I am indebted to.
He, closes his eye and shakes his head. He closes his eyes and shakes his head.
I suppose I will have to prove my trustworthiness, though. Who did you have in mind?
Not, I accept your proposal, but what are you about to fucking do to me? What nightmare blunt rotation is Pim about to be stuck in for the next 6 months?
You see not Izagi speaks up, but Zakara.
Oh.
The one we have in mind is my brother, Erikaz.
Oh. God of Endings. Was he particularly combat capable either?
You're not sure.
They end things. That's
They-
about as
they
combat as
do
you can
end
get.
Things, I guess. Yeah. I mean, yeah, no, that makes sense. Can I do etiquette and ability to see how the council, in its entirety, feels about this? Each member?
You could do that plus 4.
Okay. For etiquette and ability, skill level 5. Charisma 3. I should know this by now.
Okay, 18. You think for some reason it's clear that Izagi wants someone he trusts to watch over you.
Yeah. It doesn't look like
Tesla
he's-
is specifically just wanting someone they know that trustworthy that will protect the border, and
Yeah.
they were already kind of on board with the Jester idea.
Okay.
Zakara wants more. You could tell Zakara wants more political sway, which is why she recommended her brother.
Right.
And she has way more control over the situation than any other council member because
Brother.
our brother's family. So she'd get the information before anyone else.
Yes.
Alar does not trust you, despite the podium's magic. They
Reasonable.
100% need someone like Jester or Erikaz, anyone else to be on this.
Right.
they don't.
Azris was actually already kind of fine with you doing it yourself, but he's not gonna voice. He doesn't look like he's gonna voice that.
Howard. Pim, Telltale Pim will remember this. Does Erikaz look like he satisfies the condition of someone Izagi personally trusts?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, you could tell, actually.
Yeah.
It's not that he trusts Erikaz. It's just that if Erikaz fucks up, that puts Zakara in a bad position. And
Which
allows
gives
Izagi to
him
be able to boot her.
advantage.
Yeah, it gives him an advantage. So he is completely fine with the situation because of that.
You know.
But we like Zakara.
We do. Well, I guess Sparrow and Calorie did. Pim just kind of walked by.
Sparrow had an enjoyable conversation with Zakara.
True. Pim, in this moment, is going to look to Sparrow for, like, final confirmation.
That seems acceptable to me. Anything stand out about it for you?
If I am to understand your analysis of the situation, either option you choose. If you choose Zakara's sibling, and there is an issue upon the time, we will lose favor with Zakara, and if you choose Jester, we will also lose favor with Zakara. So, as you mentioned, most of the rest of them are more of a toss-up. The only people who candidly care who it is Zakara themselves.
Right. I can't think of any alternatives, though.
If you trust Zakara, and you want to get into their good graces, I would suggest taking the brother. If you do not, I would attempt to argue further for Jester. But you will likely need to come up with something.
I believe the current proposal is that both accompany me.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, if it's both, then...
Yes.
Sorry, I thought this was a one or the other type of deal.
No, it's thankfully both.
Suppose that'll help you not be lonely as long as they're amicable.
He's gonna glance Winter's way. He's looking silently at Winter.
What are you looking for on Winter's face?
This, like, it's the shared border between the two nations. He, I guess, is looking if there's any objection.
He looks... He does not look like he's objecting to anything.
Does he look
you have
like...
a feeling that if he would object to something, he'd shove you off the podium and start screaming.
I suppose the question is then, quickly, do I still feel like this is going to plan?
Yes.
Even Jester was part of the plan. How far does this go?
Or does it
And me, here in the day, knowing the West Volton's probably part of this too.
Oh, for fucking sure. 100%.
Tiny, can I roll? Is there an analysis I can roll to think of a better option?
Yes, but I'm gonna say -8.
And
I won't give you a better option, but I'll tell you what you'll be able to figure out what's going on with Winter's plan.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Critical success.
Let's fucking go.
Sparrow, you realize something. You realize something very, very important this entire time. You've been politically maneuvered. This conversation has been shifted. The entire conversation is around Pim and what Pim has to give. Not once did they ask what Winter needed to give. You remember what Winter said at the beginning of the day. Don't trust anybody. Winter is throwing you under the bus and making you pay for everything.
Oh my fucking god.
This entire time.
Sparrow, Pim's trying to do uncompensated labor. You know what you must do.
You've noticed the second the conversation shifted to Pim, he took a back seat and he didn't say a single word after that.
I have a suggestion.
Yes?
I'm going to make a suggestion that may put you on the bad side of certain characters within this court.
Are they, like, do they both collectively glance at Winter?
I do not glance over. I am specifically not doing that as to not give them time to think that we are double crossing.
I suppose it depends on which parties you mean.
I'm...
Careful.
Can I attempt to quickly...
Deities.
Here, allow me to write something for you. Can I attempt to write a coded note with cryptography?
Yes.
Yay.
This one, no pluses or minuses. You're able to write that without any issue.
I would like to hand a coded note that Pim would be able to read.
It's in fucking chair law.
In chair law, that about how we may guard the border, but on the fact of the favors.
That's true.
Winter has not provided anything yet, despite this being their conflict.
Right.
Perhaps suggest something that they may do for the favors in your stead, as you are personally taking to the defense of their border.
So, like,
Does that sound like a good? Does it sound like a good idea, Tiny?
Oh, sounds okay.
So,
Fucking anything.
So out of character.
Out of character.
Suggesting that instead of Ruin owing favors, it is Winter.
Yes, we are personally attending to your border with, while being watched over. If we are personally already attending, do they need my favors?
Right, because my power.
We are already aligned with your cause.
Yes.
Perhaps the favors may be brought by another party that to ensure their own side of the bargain.
Also,
Perhaps Winter.
Right. Him, as propaganda pilled as he is, still understands, like, the difference between Winter and every other deity in this room, right?
Yeah.
So, Pim looks at Sparrow and says,
that could work, but we'd have to offer less favors.
Not necessarily. Equal amount of favors. Just not from you.
I'm not sure that is an equal amount of power.
Are we certain? Winter, historically, is the leader of the nation.
Right. And
Your favors may be destructive, but theirs are diplomatic.
he nods.
That is not to say that they are not also extremely powerful.
right.
He's gonna take the stand.
You do not need to specify Winter by name, but perhaps insinuate that another from your country. No, probably naming Winter by name would really get the heat off of you in this exact moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it would get the heat off of you.
And it would probably piss him off, and he would take the stand, and he would say something stupid and end up in the deal DM. And in Pim's mind, he's like, yeah, doing service, like helping with reconstruction efforts, I'm kind of game for this.
Also, Sparrow very clutch rolling another analysis right at the end just to see what he's thinking.
Yes.
I gotta wait for this exact, there's something going on here.
I will accept monitoring. Allow me to fully propose what I am accepting. I, Ruin, accept that For the duration of the next 6 months, I will defend the border between Esporia and the Acebax Empire. I will be monitored by the god of jokes and the god of endings. But in terms of my favors, I cannot assist with reconstruction. I am ruin. But consider an alternative source of recompense. After all, I did not act alone.
You're trying to send a message specifically. I'm gonna let you choose which council member you want to try and send this message to, and roll your diplomacy.
Ooh, okay. So, he's currently accepting the deal. For... It's up to Chad's short-term memory, which is bad. So... Zakara. Obviously, this is spicy as fuck. Goddess Stories is gonna love this shit. Like...
She's gonna be telling everyone at the party about this.
Oh yeah, easiest time. She's probably gonna be the most disappointed, Teslin. Probably, if I'm remembering correctly.
If I might also weigh in out of character.
Yes.
Don't trust you.
Not at
You
all.
already don't trust. You're probably the least likely we want to talk to directly. But they're probably also the one who might have the most beef with with Winter.
Yeah, you did see that he did have some beef with Winter.
High risk, high reward. They want to get Winter on something, but if they'll listen to you about it...
True.
If someone else mentions it, I think they will absolutely follow along.
Yes. So...
The council, out of character we know,
yeah.
is against us in some fashion.
We know
this
trademark.
person's kind of walking along. If we want to convince a lot of the council, we need to find somebody who would specifically be willing to go too bad.
I think probably Alar then.
Alright.
Maybe.
Alar, get a +2 diplomacy.
Okay. Awesome. +2 diplomacy. To skill is 2. Charisma is 3.
Oh my god. That was close.
Letting my ass off.
A partial success.
Ooh.
You see Alar speak up. Pim, your name was it?
Yes.
Are you suggesting that we have someone else from the Aspects Empire pay for the damages?
I will be doing my end to help reconstruction with the border and our country here's defense.
He does pointedly say our.
Are you he speaks of...
Yes.
Are you hinting that Winter should be paying his fair share as well?
Him smiles.
Of course.
You feel it getting a little cold. On that subject, what should Winter pay? When you see Alar says speaking to the other council members, and the other council members start speaking among each other. And finally, they stop speaking, and Izagi speaks up. Winter, can you please come to the stand? And you see Winter glare at you, Pim, but he doesn't
You're the one who dragged my ass here.
And he steps up to the podium. We're curious, Winter. What would you bring us in return? I can bring you 1 year without winter. Give your crops chance to grow all year round. The food should be enough. And you see Teslin speaks up. Does that sound good to you, Pim? I'm not asking that if that sounds good to the rest of the cast. Does that sound sufficient to you, Pim? Yeah.
Okay, hold up. Something fucked up is happening here. He like when someone who like she looks like Tess. He's like caught off guard a little bit.
Well, I mean, an abundance of food would surely aid in your ability to bolster your armies. And that was one of your major concerns.
You don't need to ask Ruin for permission. Nor do you need his opinion. With this speaking of. Tess puts her hands up, just making sure all parties involved are happy.
Awesome.
Oh wow, a year without winter. That sounds really good. Teslin says, looking at Izagi. And Izagi says, On the border specifically? Yes, on the border specifically. He thinks for a second. Pim, do you have any aura of ruin specifically?
Aura?
If you're around the farming villages on the border, will your presence hamper the crop's abilities to grow?
He thinks.
See, Winter steps back
Oh,
to let you step on the podium.
I was about to say,
thinking about the
Lorky
flowers.
didn't answer before. I don't know if you understand.
Fuck. Yeah. He's gonna walk to the
Winter,
stand.
you can already tell Sparrow, Winter specifically said plants like that on purpose.
Oh boy. Because Pim is like, I don't have any aura of destruct. Oh boy. So like, he's only had the mantle for this morning.
Yes.
Does he feel like he drains the life from the nearby flora?
Roll meditation.
Awesome. Any modifiers on that?
No pluses or negatives.
Okay, the skill level is 1, I think. Yes. Wisdom 2.
Awesome!
Okay. You feel your power, your aura around you. You feel like you can control it 100%. It shouldn't even be an issue.
That shouldn't be an issue in the slightest. After all, the plants in the city have grown quite well, and I've been here quite a while.
That is true. Well, then I'll accept this. As everyone knows, in agreement. And each council member nods in agreement.
Scary.
I suppose these peace talks are over. Meeting adjourned. He hits the table with the gavel once more.
Pim got out of the favors, let's fucking go!
You sitting here? Wait a second. We didn't negotiate when the starting time for you going to the border is.
He did say the next 6 months.
but doesn't start at this exact second.
Ooh. One.
That would have been done before that would have been done before we.
Yeah. They probably they're probably gonna talk about it because I imagine the God of Endings has plans for the next few months or anything.
Well, that was absolutely terrifying.
You see Fi walk up to you guys, and Calories there too.
He's doubled over, leaning on his knees.
Was that as tense as it felt down there from the viewing platform? Or was that just me?
No, it was really tense.
Yes, you see Evelyn walk up. Yeah, that shit had me on the edge of my seat. Oh my gosh.
You did so good.
I had realized quite early into that moment that Winter had a specific plan in mind, but I wasn't able to deduce its specificities until near the end.
Thank you for the message.
He's tucked it away with the Magitek bird. Important to him.
Unfortunate that you're going to need to go away for a while, but I believe it's probably the closest thing we could have gotten to. Well, it's probably the safest option that we could have gotten out of the original proposed solution.
He puts on an eye patch and he's looking at Sparrow. And he's silent. And he's looking at Sparrow. He's looking at Sparrow, and he walks a little bit closer and he's looking at Sparrow. And he hugs Sparrow.
Hug back. Pat you on the head. If we're going to be honest, that's probably the lightest we probably could have gotten in accordance to actively recreating an entire fighting force.
Yes.
The original proposal was 5 years.
Not the God of Endings. How am I never going to get a letter from you?
I'll send you pictures.
Oh.
So it's not like there is a war happening, right? We could probably just go to the border to see you.
No. No. You should never go to the border. You should not, okay?
He looks legitimately panicked about this.
Alright, I won't go to the border.
You promise?
Well,
No. Yeah, I promise.
You said that was a good showing. I'm assuming you've seen these before.
Yes, it's typically not incredibly tense like that, but it does feel like that most of the time.
Alright, no, group hug. We're getting calorie in this.
Yes.
You all group
Yay!
hug.
Aww.
Then
Yay.
hold on, let me. We go to our next scene.
Awesome.
Time for the time skip. I need a good time skip. I need to fucking. No! No! Fuck! No! Oh god! I just realized something. You need to do something tonight if you have the opportunity.
The book, yes.
You need to translate the book.
He's not sleeping.
So-
Hoy.
Now it is the Hold on, let me change the music. It is nighttime, and two figures stand around the spirit court. So, you see Cody speak up. They show up yet? No. It's been, he looks at, like, the giant, like, clock tower. It's kind of late. You gonna go home? She said she was going to meet up with me today. I don't want to leave if she's gonna show up, so... Right. Well, if she doesn't show up, good luck and good night. He kind of walks off and leaves. Sadie just sits there. It's been hours. I don't know where she is. She puts her head in her hands. And as she sits there, someone does walk down the stairs.
Hillary, hold on. See Sadia. You're gonna sit. She's sitting down.
Yeah, she's sitting down on the step.
Kelly's gonna sit next to her, put a hand on her shoulder.
Oh,
Hey!
Calorie, where were you?
Oh, I was in court.
Oh, already. Or did you have a court date already?
No, I was watching court.
I see. I was worried that somehow you'd gotten yourself killed or something.
Well, you know how hard that is.
Yes, I was thinking maybe you slipped or something, and
That I slipped?
it's a common enough thing. It happens to people.
Kelly's an evil little look on her face. Mm-hmm. Right. Did you want to go do something?
Well, yes, she was gonna say, I've been waiting all day. Instead, she's like, yes, I just got here and I was a little tired from work.
Oh, sorry to hear.
It is pretty late, so there's not many things we can do. There's some nighttime dining we could do, but... What do you want to do?
Let me think. Nighttime dining sounds alright. I'm down to just walk around, though, if you're not hungry. There's a lot of cool places to see here.
That is true.
Oh. I could take you to see the black hole. Or whether there was a black hole.
The black hole?
Yeah, it's in the old district.
Isn't that place...
Go ahead.
Well, isn't that place slightly dangerous?
Oh, yeah, but I mean... You've got a spear. I can't die.
That's true. That is true. Jesus.
Hillary's criteria.
And you two start making your way over to the old district. Hold on, let me... I think there's a camera on this map. If there's not, let me know. You see, she's, as you kind of walk down the street, she's like, "Oh, can we make a stop here?"
Oh, sure.
She opens the door to this public little greenhouse. Do you like planting things, Calorie?
I used to, but I never had a lot of luck with it.
Me neither. I don't plant things in the public greenhouse just because, the aura and everything. But I do like to look at the plants when everyone's gone.
Oh. Have you ever tried just growing something on your own?
Not since I, pacted with him. It says...
Right.
Calamity makes it difficult, and last time I tried to plant something, a squirrel grabbed the entire plant and fell into the sewer, so...
Oh. I was gonna say, just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing, but if that happened to me, I think I'd stop planting too.
Yes, it's difficult to work with, but it makes it easy for work. If someone tries to sneak attack you, stab you from behind, they'll likely trip on their own shoes and alert me.
Is that why you pacted with him?
It was more of a requirement than me wanting to pact with him.
Well, if you talk to him much?
I can't really speak with him. He doesn't speak in the first place. You've seen how he is. He's just...
Right, but I think he understands. Calamity lived in Sadia's shadow, right?
Yeah.
Did Calorie try to, pick up Calamity from her shadow?
Do you have diplomacy?
Let me see. No. I have charisma.
You can roll your charisma +1. Calorie, you squat down and just pick up Calamity from her shadow.
I hold him.
Why are you holding him like that?
Because he likes it, I think.
How can you even tell?
Well, look at him. If
He's like a furry little cat thing.
yeah, she's looking at him for a second. It's like, if he didn't like it, I'd assume he'd be trying to get free.
I see. Could I try?
Yeah.
So he's gonna try and pick up.
Keller will be very careful. Can I attempt to assist with this at all?
I can say, yeah, you can add your charisma onto it.
That's still a partial at 10.
She tries to carry this thing, but she's never even held she never held. You could tell she's obviously never held Calamity. Let alone, you don't think she's ever held like a cat or a dog before. She's very awkward with it. And Calamity kind of wiggles in her grasp, and she's like, he doesn't like it.
Well, you gotta adjust your grip here. Hold on, you gotta support him. You gotta make it feel like he's not gonna fall. she's trying her best here to maneuver this situation with a wiggling animal.
Zeta tries one more time. Then with a +1, she gets it. And she holds Calamity. Oh, this is nice if he wasn't the embodiment of disaster and calamity.
Yeah, but it's like this is kind of a first step to learning how to talk with Calamity. And maybe if y'all can come to understand each other, you can work something out with your contract.
I mean, he listens enough to me. If I tell him to go to a place, he'll generally go there.
Right, but that's commands. That's not understanding and being friends.
It's very difficult. You can speak with your god and talk with him. It's easy for you, but...
Well, and easy's one word for it.
How's speaking with Volm? Does he ever give you trouble?
Constantly. But I know how to speak to Volm. And I feel like we work things out a lot.
I see. She holds up Calamity. I never know what he's thinking, and he doesn't really tell me what he wants. Just kind of does things.
Do you tell him?
No. Well, I'll tell him I'd like to grow a plant without something disastrous happening to it.
Cataclysm do anything?
You see, Calamity, you're not really sure. It makes this face, then this, then this. I don't know what that meant.
Bolton, do you know what that meant?
Why are you asking me? I don't speak the unspoken words of a shadow beast.
That seems like something you'd explicitly do.
That is true, but you see, Gallery, I am a civilized, speaking creature.
Yep. Yes, you are.
You see Volm take a closer look at Calamity, and most shadow beasts don't have the capability of speech, but they understand what you're saying. It's not like they're, I don't know, a worm or something like that. If anything, it's more of like, what was her name? The monkey girl. April, that's the name.
I don't know, because we can't talk about her. Well,
Of course. You know, the monkey girl that I've seen on my travels, very far in a different country. You see, you give something to them, and you get something in return. What have you given to Calamity, Sadia? My company? Well, that's not very much. You're always together. I'm always with Calorie, but I ask Calorie, hey, Calorie, can you come to a party? When Calorie can ask me for existence in something else, you see? That makes sense. Okay, Calamity, what do you want? Calamity hops off and climbs up onto this one table, grabs a flower, and climbs back. And what does this mean? You see Calamity eats the flower. Are you hungry? Do you want a treat or something? I
think that means yes.
Oh, well, she grabs like a leaf, like a couple of the leaves on this plant, and then hands it to Calamity, and it eats it like hungrily, and then it gets the zoomies and starts running around. I think it worked.
Yeah.
They're incredibly excitable now. Well, now ask Calamity something. Calamity, could you not destroy plants that I grow? And you see Calamity jump into her arms. And you feel you could see a power kind of emanate from him. Oh, I did feel something different there. Wait, were you specifically making plants die when I had them, when I made them? And you see it smiles before jumping into the shadow and disappearing. It's not a funny joke, you know. I like growing plants. It was that easy, wasn't it?
Well, I wouldn't really call that easy, but I'd love to get it out of him.
I learn something new every day. Oh, thank you, Calorie.
Yeah.
Let's go see that black hole.
Actually, can I show you a different place?
Oh, sure.
Kelly's gonna head back to the orphanage.
Oh. Let me bring it to the map. Make sure there's nothing on this map that shouldn't be here. Alright. Shift ping you guys down here. You guys kind of... Actually, let me change the music. We gotta switch things up. There we go. You guys walk into the old district without any issue. Cedia doesn't look like she's having a great time walking around the old district. She doesn't really like how much in disrepair it looks, but you can tell she's not voicing it.
Here it is.
This building, it's one of the largest we've seen so far.
Yeah. This is where I grew up.
You see a look on Sadia's face. You're not really sure what it is. And she says, "Oh. Is this where your parents live?"
Oh, no. I was an orphan.
Oh, this is an She's... I'm sorry.
It's alright. We used to try to grow plants in that pothole over there.
Oh, it seems like there's a plant growing there now.
We got some help, I think. Actually, hold on. No, Keller wasn't there for that, I don't think.
Yeah, actually, I don't think Pim's ever talked about this.
No.
Was a little too busy considering dead parents.
Yeah.
Oh, something did grow.
It seems like you have a little bit of luck after all. It just took some time.
Yeah. That feels great to see. I thought nothing was ever gonna grow there. I was gonna come talk about that and make some point, but now something's here. That's awesome. Right, but no, still, I wanted to show you this place because I think it's important to me.
Yeah,
and I don't know a lot about you, but I would like to. So, I would hope to go somewhere important to you too.
Well, it's not going to be as storied or interesting as an orphanage in the old district.
Sure, it will. If you've got something to say about it, that's interesting.
I suppose. Well, I guess I'll show you. And you two walk off in the night.
I was expecting to go to a third place already. It was just like, yeah, she'll show me in the future. Oh, damn.
Hold on. Actually, we'll play this song. Deep below the city, two figures walk in the catacombs. Let me I cannot find all the... There she is. Nilla, are you here?
Oh shit, we doing this now? Okay.
Yep. Last scene of the session. So, currently you've been walking in a maze. This floor has been the most troublesome of the floors. You're pretty much at the point where Alda doesn't have any of the anything mapped out now. All these floors are new to her and to you.
Okay.
And you've been around this bend around maybe 30 times and you're pulling your hair out. Seeing this again, it's a little frustrating. I didn't expect a magical maze for this floor.
Okay. Can I... Is this like this is like just a pile of rubble here, right?
Yeah, it seems like the roof of that room caved in.
Can I pick up like a handful of like little rocks? If that's okay?
Yeah, you can pick up a handful of rocks.
Yeah, just a little handful. I'm gonna keep that on me.
Well,
how many times have we gone by here, by the way?
It feels like you've done it like way too many times to count. It's frustrating at this point.
Well, I have a theory, but let's walk to the end of the room and see what happens once again, I think.
So, as you're walking towards the end of the room, Aldo speaks up. I do have a story to tell you while we're lost here.
By all means.
It's about the Great Mage, Amber.
The one who the festival was for.
All the nods. She saved the people of Dead Pass twice. Well, I say Dead Pass. The city. The city once, but the Dead Pass twice. The other story of her you won't hear, because honestly, I don't think she took credit for it.
What would that be?
She got into a fight with the Goddess of Death. They had a contest. Make the Goddess of Death bleed. A little bit of an impossible task, as you know that she is undead. And on top of that, incredibly hard to hurt. The Great Mage was able to best her in this contest, defeat her, and was granted a wish. She wished for something unusual. Well, I suppose it was unusual at the time.
What would that be?
She wished for the undead to have memories of who they were. Wished for them to be sentient once again. It is the reason why that many dead are still living.
See. So without this wish, most of our friends back in the past would be completely hollow?
She nods. There are some... The undead that you summon, a mage, for instance, could summon undead, but those will just be mindless. Undead that truly come back, they will always have some sort of semblance of self.
Well, I suppose depending on the individual, that could be a blessing or a curse. But
I think it's nice. It's
Stranger
just
smiles a
sad.
little.
The people of the city are afraid of them. An undead does not stay sane for long. Depending on your willpower, you slowly lose yourself, become mad. But that is no reason to abandon them. It is that fear that keeps people away from undead.
Stranger actually looks very guilty as she's listening to this story.
It is why I became a caretaker of undead. I took it upon myself to take care of those that were forgotten.
You are a kinder person than I'd say. She looks down at the ground, very ashamed.
You say that, yet you are aiding me in helping Dead Pass.
That was only after I learned, or I suppose opened my mind to the possibility that the undead could still be somewhat sentient. I spent most of my time just trying to avoid them, to avoid conflict. But it seems like they were just doing that themselves.
It is no shame to be ignorant. There's only shame in staying ignorant. As you kind of cross this boundary, let me drag you back to the beginning of the hallway. All the way back. You come around this bend again.
Awesome. Okay, so no traps triggered, and I do see a door at the far end where we were. If I try that door, or have we tried those doors?
You have not.
Can we slide on back real quick so I can try that door?
I'll put you back.
Thank you. All right.
You try to open the door. It seems to be kind of not locked, but it seems like it's stuck. Like you need some force to force it open.
Is it like an in? Does the door go into the room? Like, open, sorry. Does it open into the room or out into the hallway?
See what roll you have for looking at things. Roll me a scout -1.
Not -1, gotcha. Oh, not 33, Jesus. Here we go.
Oh, wow. Okay, you can tell that this used to be a secret door. It was covered with some sort of illusion, but the illusion seems to have eroded away with time, so the door's just kind of here. You're supposed to pull on a tile and it can open, but the tile doesn't exist anymore since it's eroded away. So you think your best shot is to just kick at the door, and it should slide down into the ground, or just fall off. Either way, it'll be open.
Alright. Alda, if you could stand back and keep an eye out in case this noise alerts anybody.
Of course.
I will just fucking take a deep breath and go to town on this fucking door.
Alright, give me a... You can make an attack roll or roll like dex or strength.
It feels like a strength roll.
Give me a strength +2. Since you know where to attack.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my gosh, another crit. You kick this door and it finally like slides down into the ground and opens up. And you see a staircase that leads deeper into the catacombs.
She sort of like stands to the side and motions to it towards Alda like she's a little proud of herself.
Well, we found our way out. Let's hope the next trial isn't so tedious.
I got this whole smiling pog, sorry.
Yep. And both of you head deeper into the cavern.
Me and my rocks.
And that is where I'm gonna call it a session.
Yay!
That was... wow, okay.
Hell yeah. Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for GMing.
Yes.